So, what if I told you that everything you've ever wanted already exists? It's not out there waiting to be created, it's just waiting for you to call it in. And what if there was a precise key to do just that? Well, today, that's what we're diving into. We're talking about metaphysical prayer. And look, this isn't about wishing on a star. This is a conscious act of creation, a spiritual technology that's as real and precise as any science you know.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You've prayed, you've hoped, you've wanted something with every fiber of your being, and you get nothing. Crickets. You start to wonder if anyone's even listening. Well, the problem, as we're about to find out, isn't in what you're asking for. It's all about how you're asking. It's because we live in a universe that doesn't really respond to what we want. It responds to who we are, to the vibration we're broadcasting.
All right, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to totally redefine what prayer even is. Then, we'll look at the ancient science behind all this. We'll break down the 3 essential pillars of creation, and then, this is the big one, we'll get into the mindset of praying from the end. After that, I'll give you 5 practical things you can do every day. And finally, we'll see how your word, your spoken word, literally becomes law in your reality.
Okay, let's jump right in. What makes this kind of prayer so different from everything we've been taught? Well, it's a massive shift from asking for something to knowing you already have it.
So here's the core idea. Metaphysical prayer isn't about begging some force outside of you for a favor. It's about using the aligned powers of your own mind, your own heart, and your own voice as a literal tool for creation. You're not a victim of circumstance hoping for a handout, you are the creator, and you're consciously directing the energy that shapes your world. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? See, conventional prayer often starts from a feeling of, I don't have this, which, funny enough, just amplifies the energy of not having it. But metaphysical prayer, that's a declaration. It comes from a place of, it is already done. You're not just hoping for a result someday, you are feeling and living that result right now. You're activating a power that's already inside you.
And don't for a second think this is some new age fad. Not at all. What we're talking about is basically rediscovering a lost science, a secret that has been understood by mystics and sages for thousands and thousands of years.
You know, this idea that sound, that the word, shapes reality is like a golden thread woven all through human history. You see it in the ancient mystery schools of Egypt and Greece, talking about the logos as a creative force. It's right there in sacred texts. In the beginning was the word. And it's a core Hermetic principle. Everything vibrates. This knowledge has always been here. It just got a little scattered over the centuries.
And this quote, this one just nails it. Think about it. It doesn't say God wished for light or hoped for light. It says God spoke it into existence. The spoken word isn't just a label for something that already exists. No, it's a command. It's an instruction that activates energy and gives it form. What is named becomes.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics. How does this actually work? Well, it builds up from a very precise 3-part formula. This is the real architecture of manifestation, and you need all 3 parts working together perfectly.
I want you to think about it like this. First, you have the thought. That's your blueprint, your sacred seed. It has to be crystal clear. Second, you have the emotion. This is the fuel, the nourishing water for your seed. You have to feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And finally, you have the verb, the spoken word. That is the command that makes it manifest. Any one of these on its own is like a seed on dry rock. It's not going anywhere. And that's the secret sauce right there. When these 3 things, thought, emotion, and speech, are in perfect alignment, they create a specific frequency, a unique vibrational signature. The universe isn't a person judging your request. It's a field of energy responding to your signal. And when your signal perfectly matches the reality you desire, that reality has no choice but to show up. It's just physics.
All right, now, deep breath, because this next part is, I think, the absolute game changer. It's the toughest part for sure, but it's also the most powerful part of this whole process. It's all about a radical shift in who you think you are.
Let that sink in for a second. This is the quantum leap. You have to stop being the person who is waiting for something to happen. You have to completely let go of that identity of wanting and lacking and waiting. And you have to assume right here, right now, the identity of the person who already has it. You have to think, feel, and speak from that reality, not towards it.
And you see this idea in ancient texts. This isn't about traditional religion. This is a metaphysical instruction. To be born again simply means to let your old self die. The self that felt limited, that felt unworthy, that felt separate from its desires. You let that go, and you are reborn into the consciousness of the person who is already living the answered prayer.
So how do you do this? Well, here's another piece of ancient wisdom. Enter your room and shut the door. What does that really mean? It means you have to retreat into your inner world, your imagination. And shutting the door means you block out all the noise from the outside, all the doubt, all the yeah buts, all the logic from your five senses. It's in that quiet inner sanctuary where you are free to build and establish your new reality without any interference. Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But how do we actually do this? How do we make it part of our daily life instead of just some cool idea we think about once? It's about turning your entire life into a living prayer. First up, your lifestyle becomes the prayer. Everything you do, think, and say is a living affirmation. So ask yourself, are you moving through your day with the gratitude and confidence of someone who has what they desire? Or are you carrying the stress and worry of scarcity? Every single moment is an act of creation. You have to live it. Second, you have to make a non-negotiable appointment with yourself every single day to go into that inner room. Seriously, it doesn't have to be an hour, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of just sitting, feeling the reality you want, and aligning with it. This isn't a chore, it is the foundation that you build your entire new reality upon.
Okay, number 3 is huge. You have to guard your words. Treat them like they are literally casting spells, because they are. Every time you say, I can't, or this is so hard, you are commanding that reality into existence. You have to stop. Flip the script. Replace those phrases with things like, I'm figuring this out, or everything is aligning perfectly for me. Your words configure your world.
Fourth, your outside world has to start matching your inside world. You can't create a reality of clarity and abundance if you're living in physical chaos. Tidy up your space. Dress like the person who has already achieved their goal. Act as if. This creates this powerful feedback loop between your inner and outer worlds, making your new reality feel more and more solid.
And finally, number 5. This one is subtle but so important. You have to get rid of the urgency. That feeling of anxious, desperate wanting, it's poison. Why? Because it screams to the universe, I don't have it yet. If you knew with total certainty that it was already yours, how would you feel? You'd be calm. You'd be patient. You'd be grateful. So plant the seed, say thank you, and let it go. Trust the process. So, when you start putting all these pieces together, when this isn't just a technique anymore, but it's how you actually live, something profound happens. You're not just saying words. You're fundamentally changing who you are at a core vibrational level. And what happens then is you literally shift your entire existence. You stop being someone who things just happen to, and you become the person that miracles happen through. You're no longer on the outside looking in, hoping for a different reality. You become that different reality, and the world just rearranges itself around you. In the end, it all comes down to this one simple, powerful truth. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It just mirrors back to you who you are being. Your word only becomes law when it comes from the deepest part of your being. So the final question isn't for me, it's for you. Knowing what you know now, what reality are you going to declare today?